CBC News. I'm Carol Michelle. Kurdish officials in Iraq are blaming Canadians for the death of Sergeant Andrew Gahan. He is the first Canadian soldier to die in the Iraq mission. Rebecca Collard has the story.
At this outpost in Hazar, northern Iraq, Kurdish Iraqi soldiers are quick to blame the Canadian forces for the death of Sergeant Andrew Gahan on Friday. The soldiers here say the Canadians failed to inform them that they were heading to this frontline area. And when they were approached by Kurdish forces, the Canadians responded in Arabic. Because of this, the Kurdish forces mistakenly thought the Canadians were militants from ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, and fired on them. These accounts from the Kurdish Iraqi soldiers here on the ground echo statements from Kurdish Iraqi officials, who also blamed the Canadian soldiers for Friday's incident. Canadian officials have confirmed the incident was accidental, but have not responded to the Kurds' claims or provided any alternative explanation for what happened. Rebecca Collard, CBC News, Hazar, Northern Iraq.
Sunday.
The
CBC Radio 2.
Opposition leader Boris Nemtsov. Police have detained 3 others in connection with the killing and asked the courts to issue formal arrest warrants. Nemtsov was shot dead near the Kremlin just over a week ago. Sarah Rainsford has more from Moscow.
They had earlier named just 2 of those suspects. Formerly, a man named Daoud Azayev and another called Anatol Kubasha. Both of them believed to be Chechen in origin, living in the neighbouring Republic of English Czechia. But we also understand that they've actually been living in Moscow, or close to Moscow, for the past year or so. Those 2 men, the only ones who've been named so far, although an official in English effort also said one of the men's brothers was also one of those detained. But certainly the big question that still surrounds all of this is if these men indeed were connected to the murder of Mr. Nemtsov, then what was their possible motive? And there's still no answer according to that.
CBC's Sarah Rainsford. Canadian journalist Mohammed Fahmy made a brief court appearance in Cairo today, only to learn his retrial is adjourned for a second time. Key witnesses didn't show up to testify. Fahmy says he's very frustrated.
We go to the court expecting that the trial moves forward and that we can get closer to the conclusion of this horrific experience. And then it doesn't seem like anything is going my way, you see. And I'm pretty upset about it because there's legal limbo where I'm caught at right now.
He appears in court again on March 19th. There's been another attack in Mali as these 3 people were killed in the northern town of Kidal. Security sources say at least one of the victims was a UN peacekeeper. 5 people were killed in Bamako yesterday in an attack on a restaurant that was popular with foreigners. Finally, it has been 1 year, and there's still no sign of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. Andrew Lee has that story.
More than half of the people on the plane were from China. Today, the families gathered to pray and remember. Jean Leyland's daughter is Canadian and is also 70. Jean hasn't given up hope of seeing her. We pray they can come home soon, she says. We choose to come here because it's a Buddhist holy place. We hope our families can come back to us. A report released today shed little light on just what happened on the Boeing 777, but it did reveal that the battery for the underwater locator beacon had expired a year before the plane disappeared. Already an estimated $200 million has been spent, and the search in the Indian Ocean is not quite half finished. For the families hanging on, any news of the missing plane closure can't come soon enough. Andrew Reed, CBC News, Beijing.
That is related to CBC News. Remember, we broadcast live and podcast at our website, cbcnews.ca. You can also listen on Sirius Satellite Radio, channel 169. I'm Carol McDowell.